Hello, 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 hello.
Robin, I'm doing the chalice lighting, is that correct? I'm lighting it and you're reading it? No, that's fine. I just want to make certain I know what I'm doing. You're welcome to do it. I'm just cleaning bat up. I'm batting clean activities.
Hello.
And I get closing words. And you'll tell me how long.
Well, I mean, so when I mapped it out with everybody for 3 minutes, I was like, yeah. And so when you said that Ziel, or the eighth principle, and then we started cutting things, and now then they started rehearsing, and theirs aren't going to. And so 2 times 7 is 14 minutes. And then they're like, what the hell? Every 11, people start crying. What's the problem?
There's no problem. There's no problem.
So it's 10:01, and
No, I've got 2 minutes here.
there better be more people that come in. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Can you put down my face? Thank you. Oh. Are these up here for you?
Oh, I was gonna put Reese's. Okay. I want you to put your board up there.
All right. Huh? Okay.
Can we get the welcome up there?
Yes.
Okay.
Let us settle into a spirit of worship with a moment of quiet to be followed by the music of Johann Sebastian Bach, Gavadi in C minor by Coraline.
Great job, Coraline. Open to Unexpected Answers by Julianne Lepp. We seek our place in the world and the answers to our heart's deep questions. As we seek, may our hearts be open to unexpected answers. May the light of our chalice remind us that this is a community of warmth and of wisdom and of welcoming of multiple truths. Good morning. My name is Robin Mitskovich, and I'm proud to serve this church as the Director of Religious Exploration and Education. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Worcester, a congregation of love, hope, and justice, inspiring people to take on the challenges of a changing world. We begin by acknowledging that in Worcester, Massachusetts, we work, learn, and live and worship on the seized ancestral homeland of the Nipmuc people who survive and remain active as the Nipmuc Nation. We offer a special welcome to those of you who are new or visiting with us for the first time this morning. We are delighted that you are here, and we hope that you join us in Fellowship Hall following this special service. If you have questions or desire more information about this service or any of the ministries or programs of this congregation, please do not hesitate to ask. We invite you to fill out one of the pew cards in the pews, and these cards can be placed in the offering plate or given to one of the ushers or greeters this morning. For those of you joining us online this morning, we offer you a very special welcome. And for safety purposes, is so that we might know you better, as you are able, please place your name on your video feed. Please take a moment to sign one of our attendance clipboards that are now being circulated. Though you are not obligated to sign, we appreciate your information and will use it only for church purposes. And during the service, we offer an opportunity to share a brief personal joy or sorrow. If you would like yours to be read aloud by the minister, please print it on an index card in the pew and drop it in the collection plate when it comes around. These cards will also be posted outside the minister's office to be shared with our friends at other services. For those online, you can place a joy or sorrow into the chat, and we will read it and share it during this time in the service. And in the foyer, there are large orders of service programs and listening devices and hymnals for those who may find their assistance beneficial. Please see one of our ushers, who will be pleased to assist you. And I invite you now to turn your technology to worship mode. And finally, please note the announcements on the back of your orders of service. There will be time for short verbal announcements following the postlude, and we are so glad that you are here and hope this morning is an opportunity for rest and rejuvenation. And while I'm up here, let me tell you why I'm here. For many years now, this church has offered a year-long coming-of-age program for our young teens. And after months of self-reflection and mentored learning, the participants stand in front of their congregation and deliver their credos or their belief statements. In turn, we welcome and honor these young people as they move through their youth years toward young adulthood. So it is no coincidence that these coming-of-age graduations are held on Mother's Day, because ultimately, it is that precise act of caring and nurturing that we ask of our mentors and our congregation members. And in the same respect, I believe we are all here as a community to hold each other and to care for each other as we journey through our lives. This year, I decided to offer a Coming of Age Again program for adults. Much to my delight, we assembled a wonderful group of adults all looking to support each other as they journey into new life territory. We are continually journeying, coming of age again and again. And I am so honored that these adults have agreed to share their coming of age stories with you today. On Mother's Day, and in the spirit of all those who have cared for us, let us celebrate together. Now I invite Zael to come up and share his 8th principal moment. Speaking of coming of age, Zael is one of our former coming of age grads and youth group grads. Welcome, Zael.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. It is appropriate to celebrate my grandmother this morning. Her name was Grace Dolores Stevenson. My grandmother would find the 8th principal moments a little amusing because she'd say something like, "Yep, racism. Everything is a challenge in life, and you pick yourself up, and while you're at it, pick someone else up too." She was born in DC before desegregation. To say she cut her teeth during the Civil War is not really accurate because she started serving others and protesting inequity when she was 8 years old. So of course she'd get involved. My grandma sat in at the counter of Woolworths. She was harassed by police and lost her front teeth to a police baton. She and my grandfather worked on the mall, feeding marchers during the March on Washington. She was a special education teacher working with the deaf and blind and was the only African-American woman in her graduating class at Gallaudet College for the Deaf, where she earned her master's in deaf education. From there, she became a Fulbright Fellow, possibly being the only African-American in her cohort in 1972. My grandmother started a program for her disabled students called Rent-A-Teen. It went on to be adopted by the school system, and she received national recognition for her work. My grandmother was a woman of great faith and believed that God called her on to serve everyone in need. And she served everyone all the time and forcefully made everyone around her serve as well. There was not a time where she was not collecting books or clothes or making cards for soldiers or traveling to build schools and roads in Honduras or Sierra Leone. There was not a time that she was not speaking truth to power, getting in the faces of politicians who called her friend to tell them that to get off their collective butts. Her life and legacy of service is more than I can possibly share. Our family is committed to honoring her memory and are establishing the Many Hands Foundation, recognizing that it will take all of us to do a fraction of what she did every day. Our first goal is a day of grace on July 23rd, her birthday. We will work with my grandmother's 3 churches, her friends and relatives, and anyone else who wants to join to give back in any way, big or small, on that day, and then possibly have a hot dog and a beer in her honor. My grandmother talked to everyone, pushed everyone to get out and share themselves in any way they could, from baking a cake for a neighbor to housing a displaced person. She's still calling us to do the same. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Vicki Cox Lanyon. This has been a year of reflection for me. In addition to the adult coming of age class, I participated in Aaron's Lessons in Loss workshops, and I've been writing stories about my life for my kids, all of which has made me think a lot about my family of origin, my life experiences, the choices I've made, and I think most importantly, what I want to do with the third act of my life. It's been challenging, but very worthwhile. Those of you with kids who went through coming of age or who served as mentors for the program will likely remember the poem they write at the end. Its title is I Am. For the adult version of the class, we played around with several versions of that poem. And this is what I wrote. I am Vicki. I come from entrepreneurs, purveyors of peaches and propane, a combination doomed from the start. Spam on fine china, a fur coat for show, penny pinchers and big spenders. They buried 4 of their own before 40. I am from the neighborhood of kids and kick the can, first kisses and first cigarettes, a national holiday on my birthday. I am from dog lovers, honeybee keepers, sports car drivers, cheaters, and addicts. From Midwestern wasps and members of Mensa, struggling with their demons, drowning them all. From the matriarchs and their secrets, sterling silver and crystal, hoarding and shame, unable to peel back the layers, not knowing why one would. I long for the hidden boxes of letters waiting to reveal themselves. I am Victoria. I am the miracle baby, daddy's little girl, sweet little Vicky, from shy silent one to the comic relief. I am a helper. I perseverate. I worry about the vulnerable. I wish I could make a difference. I would like to step back, filter more. I'll keep meditating. From Episcopal Church roots, dug up in defiance, I am journeying toward my purpose. I'm confused by the voices of my forebears. I try a different path. I worked to find my voice, but missed the chance to use it. I'm burdened by the one who remains. I have questions that cannot be answered until the next life. I believe in life after death. It comforts me when this world disappoints. I admire my strong women friends and hope to be like them. I appreciate the blessings I've been given and wish them for others. I am Vicki.
Thank you, Vicki. Just one of the many you will hear today. But now let's stand in body or in spirit for our opening hymn, number 1003, Where Do We Come From?
Please be seated.
I'd like to mention that in the lounge, we have a setup for kids if they would like to make cards or flowers. Please go in the lounge, and there are people there to hang out with you.
Good morning. So I am Marisa. I'm Marisa Catherine, empathic, unfiltered, extrovert. I worry about the well-being of others. I'm compelled to commit acts of creation and kindness, and know that despite what I say, I will always love humanity. I touch the grass, that branch, this stone, and see a garden of possibility. I wonder, can I quiet my mind? Then promise to let go, to breathe, to forgive myself. I sing my songs and understand that I am enough, and I say that you are enough too. I like to consider my cousins a lifetime ago, dizzy on the green grass at twilight. We drank tap water from jelly jars, children of Wonder Bread and Wrigley's spearmint gum. Free range, roaming the east side and Robin Hood Park. I hid beneath the forsythia, sunny, safe, dusty, warm. In that landscape of my childhood, these roots took hold. We Cheshire County French Canadians, the Davios and Gayettes, our weekly Sunday dinners, oil-soaked home fries, yesterday's baked spaghetti. Priscilla at the sink or her chair on the porch, the wind chimes, a long ago lullaby, her kind, gentle greeting, "Hey, doll." I called her Mimi, and she was everything, the unconditional love of my grandmother. Today, upon this vintage vanity, once hers, now mine, her mother Marion in a picture frame, age 18, in a handmade dress, while Mimi is hidden, smiling child within the pages of a book. Images of these women connect me to when home was on Valley Street and remind me that love outlives death. And I just want to say that it's been a privilege and an honor being part of this group. For me, the timing was very good. My daughter left to be a freshman in college this year, and the beginning of the year had a lot of anxiety and unknowns, but it's been a tremendous success for her and for me and our family. And she's entered a certain coming of age, and it's allowed me to do that as well. And it's wonderful. And actually the best part of this was getting to know these wonderful people. And I'm saying hello to Ruth, who's not here today, but we love her very much. And I highly recommend, if you're able, to consider participating in the coming of age. I think you'll really appreciate it.
Bonjour. My name is Pauline Courchaine. I joined this church in 2007. I've attended many a memorial service here. What I came away with every time with sadness. Of course, the sadness of the death and the sadness of those who lost a very close family member or friend, but also sadness for my own loss. It is clear to me, judging by the videos, photographs, artistic endeavors, and so forth, that we witness but a hint of the kaleidoscopic life of those we celebrate after their demise. I had missed most of who that human being had been and realized that an effective way to get to know people was to join a group. Here, a committed small group willing to devote time with each other over a period of months. So I became a member of the experimental adult coming of age group. Today is the end of our committed journey together. We were all given a sheet with initial prompts for each sentence to get us started. I used them as I saw fit. So, who am I? Or maybe, who do I think I am? I am Franco-American, who grew up in the culture, language, and religion of my ancestors from at least as far back as the 17th century in France. In our New England little Canadas, we worked hard. We prayed, we obeyed our parish priests, the nuns, and our parents. If anyone questioned the veracity of what you said in a conversation with your peers, your young peers, or your parents, all you had to say was, "Sister so-and-so said it." And that was that. End of discussion and doubt. As a young adult, I left the Franco environment and slowly became a more informed student and less dogmatic. I had become a recovering Catholic, and slowly, oh so very slowly and judiciously, made my way to a church and people who do not prize dogma so much as principles by which to live. I'm an atheist. I am the family genealogist and keeper of our family history. This is my poem. I am Pauline. I believe our United States is on the path to self-destruction. I don't know if I will finish my autobiography. I am guided by a need to help save our democracy. I wonder if I will be here next year. I believe I need to give my very best to the fight for democracy. I am Pauline. I am Pauline. I understand why I am who I am. I say get beyond it and create yourself anew. I dream of one more visit to Quebec, Acadie, and France. I try to ignore my aches and disabilities. I wish I weren't 85. I am Pauline. I am Pauline. I am journeying through life and leaving behind some former things. I used to be Catholic. I used to be a nun. I nurtured my need to know the truth. And I can't wait until I meet again with my beautiful, diverse, honest, humorous co-journeyers. We'll meet again. This we intend to do. I am Pauline.
We come to that time in our service when we're given an opportunity to share that which is symbolic of our own efforts and our own journeys. Yeah. You're right, Robin. It is the offertory. That which is symbolic of our own efforts and our own journeys, that which we contribute as a part of our service to the world in order that we might bring about that which is most important to us, not the least of which is our participation in the ongoing ministry and mission of this congregation. So I invite you at this time to participate in our offering, to give that which you are capable of giving in this moment until you feel good about it. At this time, our morning offering will be received.
Dear Theodosia, what to say to you? You have my eyes, you have your mother's name. When you came into the world, you cried, and it broke my heart. I'm dedicating every day to you. Domestic life was never quite my style. When you smile, you knock me out, I fall apart, and I thought I was so smart. You will come of age with our young nation. We'll bleed and fight for you, we'll make it right for you. If we lay a strong enough foundation, we'll pass it on to you. We'll give the world to you, and you'll blow us all away. Someday, someday. Yeah, you'll blow us all away. Someday, someday. My mother's always around, my mother's always around. I swear that I'll be around for you. I'll do whatever it takes, I'll make a million mistakes. I'll make the world safe and sound for you. We'll come of age with our young nation. We'll bleed and fight for you, we'll make it right for you. If we lay a strong enough foundation, we'll pass it on to you. We'll leave the world to you, and you'll blow us all away. Someday, someday. Yeah, you'll blow us all away. Someday, someday.
Hello. My name is Sean Reynolds, and I stand before you today with gratitude and pride in my heart for these friends. And I'm here to proudly exclaim I'm a heathen and a pagan. My poem goes as such. I wonder how to translate old ways and older truths into the modern age, tell old tales in new ways. I see the gods in the shadows. I hear the songs of our ancestors in the falling of the rain. I want the wisdom to navigate this life, the strength to bear the trials, and the will to never give up. I pretend that I walk this path alone. I feel the old ways calling. I am a heathen. I am a pagan. I understand that this life is a trial that we are not meant to survive. I say, you are not alone. I will walk with you. I dream to one day leave this life with peace in my heart and honor earned. I am Sean. I am a heathen and I'm a pagan, and I walk amongst you and with you. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Anna, and before I read my story here, I just wanted to thank the group for being so candid and open with their stories, because if they were not, it would not have worked as well. So it's very difficult to share, but we did a great job with that, and I thank you for that. And I also want to thank the Queen Mother. Robin was the extraordinary woman and mother figure, I think, for all. She did a lot of mothering with our sharing. So I wanted to thank her for doing this and offering her soul and her love to everyone. She did a great job. I am Anastasia Karina Gregory. I'm from intimacy and solitude, from a dollhouse complete with a grand piano, from Hershey bars and glow-in-the-dark stars, a small green house on a steep hill, the sandbox where I saw a massive turtle in the sunny sky. I do not like green eggs and ham, said Sam I Am, but I do like chocolate cake, easy bake oven style, and cobs of corn, each kernel its own idea of yellow. Who am I at 54? A closed door? I hope not, although I hate personal growth, to be honest. I want to swim with dolphins with my fins, propelling me forward unfettered. I want to dance in heels and feel the soft fur of my cat's ear. I wonder what happens when you die, where my dad is, and worry how my children will grow into adulthood. Holden Hospital, 1969, Polish Americans and pierogies. Pictures found, dried and unbound, yet memories survive. Strive to be honest, treat others with fairness. Drawing, meditation, solitude that's sound. Organic, moving shapes of color. Articulate, aware, beautiful. I know that love heals, and so does kindness.
Yes, Mother Superior. Queen Mother. Well, Queen Mother is about 4 rows back. I have to go home after this. You understand? We come to that time in our service when we're given pause to consider what is deepest in our hearts, most profoundly on our minds, or in the work of our hands in the days that have transpired, or in the prospect of days to come. You know the rest. So those of you who have joys or sorrows this day, if you want to come forward on either side of the sanctuary, come and speak briefly into the microphone, telling us first who you are, so that everyone can enjoy this moment, and then to light a candle if you so desire. There are joys or sorrows to be shared this day. Right.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ryan Wallace. You'll actually be hearing a little bit more about me afterwards of this, but for today, I actually have 2 joys to share. The first joy, and you'll be hearing more about this, is that this amazing group of people sitting in these first 2 rows right over here, we just completed our coming of age for adults group program, however you want to put it, and I had to say, they're basically now my second family, and Robin did such an amazing job for guiding and leading us, and I got to know everyone in this group so much better. It was such an amazing experience, even for me being the youngest one in there, which I know is not really saying much, but it was an absolutely amazing group to be with. We got to learn more about each other. They learned more about where I came from, especially with me not being a native of Massachusetts, but getting to be with everyone was just amazing. And we had a very, very beautiful retreat that we did yesterday, getting to go out to Leicester and actually be in a beautiful wooded area. I absolutely love being there. The second joy that I have, and I was finally able to do it. This actually happened the end of March, early April. I was finally able to take my vacation out to Japan and actually visit out there for 2 weeks, which included going to the cities of Tokyo, Kyoto, and Nagoya. And I also met up with my older brother out there as well. So it was an absolutely amazing experience, and felt good to be on the other side of the world for once. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andrea. These are my absolute number one joys. This is Victor. He's been here before. Many of you already know him. This is Gabriel. He's 2 months old. And it's been such a joy to be able to sing today. I haven't sung since probably October, and it's so invigorating. And I love singing with the piano and being with the choir. I'll be singing later too. So thank you.
Hey, Sean. Yeah. So it's so great to see you.
Good morning, happy Mother's Day. I previously had a sorrow that I shared on April 30th of one of my students that was kicked out of their home by their mother. I'm happy to report today that the student is living back at home again and is loved and fed and all the things I had been praying for. So thank you.
Good morning, my name's Maura. I was very mindful last Sunday that it was May 7th, because 28 years ago, my brother died on May 7th of AIDS. And it was the first big change to my close family of 5. There were more changes to come. I gave birth to a child in 2001 and in 2003, and then my father died in 2003. And then my mother died in 2006. These changes we just go through. My sister and I are very close. I'm so blessed. And our family of 5 is alive and well. Thank you for asking. Right here, and in the people we are, and in the people we raise. And today, I want to thank my mother for the color orange, the bedspread she sewed when I was very little. And I remember the sunlight streaming in, and I remember her always as a mother. And I remember the coolness of her hands and her great wisdom. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, a lot of tearing today. It's all good though. I just wanted to share, last night, Susan Crossley and Mara Petlodge, my husband Evans, and I went to the Blue Boat Home concert. It was held in Sturbridge, and it was just amazing. So Blue Boat Home, I'm so proud as a UU that it's in our hymnal, and told as many people last night as I could, and we got to sing it not once, but not even twice, but 3 times. And other songs as well. If there's 2 more nights, we've had it in the message, there's going to be 2 more Saturdays, or a Saturday and Sunday. Anyway, I just encourage you to go. It was just wonderful, and this is just such a wonderful service.
Bend down. Hi, I'm Nikki. A little nervous, but sorrow for me is this is the second Mother's Day without my mom. It's been very difficult the last few years without her. But the joy I have is my beautiful son out there, and how cute of a little human he is, and that I get to not just be sad today because now I'm a mom and I get to share it with Raina. And yeah, just feel happy instead of just sorrow today. So I'm really grateful for that. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Jenny Del Gizzi. And I didn't think I was like, nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna go up to Joey's and Sorrows today. Just gonna sit back there and be quiet. Since when?
What were you thinking?
I don't know. But I was thinking in the middle of this week when I was because I made a plan to come here. When I was planning to come here, in my mind, my thought map up here, I was thinking about all the wonderful human beings that I've met here and have grown. We walked in the doors 2001. It was the year of a massive baby boom here, I think, at UU Church. I was pregnant, and I met these fabulous people. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. It was June and Carlton Davenport. They're just like, hey, how are you doing? Welcome to our church. And that was the beginning, so you can blame them, really. It's their fault. But then every time, this church just opened up to us, and we got to process through a lot of things and meet a lot of people. And one of the things that I was just this morning saying was small group ministry. It was something that we met so many of you through all these different groups, and I just appreciate all of you. Thank you for being you.
I just said to Paul, I might regret this, really, but if I regret it, it'll be because I become overly emotional, which I'm right about to do. So I'm going to make it really short. I have never had children myself, biologically. However, I do have 4 children. And they, I just want to say something to their mothers, all of whom I was lucky enough to meet. And I want to thank them for the wonderful, wonderful children that they gifted to the world, because they did put time in, and it was hard for them. It was very hard for them. And we were lucky enough to parent these children. And I say a lot about how the kids suffered, but guess what? The mothers really gave a lot. A lot of what is in my children comes from their mothers, because we know, our kids were all older. They had 8 years of parenting from a mother who was trying her very, very best. So I just want to pay honor to those mothers.
Like Jenny, I told myself I wasn't going to come up, but then I did. But I'm going to keep it short. Oh God, what was I going to say? I got so focused on what she was saying, I just lost it. So for those of us who are fortunate enough to be able to go home to somebody there who cares about us, I just wanted to add that I'm so fortunate to be able to go home to somebody who not only, he's like, oh, to somebody who not only supported me in doing something for myself this year in the coming of age, but who consistently not just supports me, but expects me to do things like this for myself. We all need people in our lives there to expect and remind us to be feeding our souls and looking to ourselves, and not just be out there taking care of everybody else. I love you.
Oh, Lord.
You're last. That's why I came up here. I hate being last. Hi, I'm Paul. And a couple weeks ago, I shared that somebody I know appeared to be missing, and found out later that I called him like many days and no answer. And then I went to his house and found like a bunch of mail and newspapers at his front door. Something's wrong here. And his car wasn't there either. So, I called the police department and said, I went for a wellness check and I can't find this person. He may be in some hospital. We found out later that he was in the hospital. in Lawrence General Hospital, and somehow he was meandering the streets in Lawrence, Massachusetts, totally confused. Yeah, so it's, and so at that point, I had to, I reached out to various people I know, because when all you know is that one person, you don't know the next of kins, or he or she may have said, I have daughters or sons. But the thing was, but after extensive time, we finally chased down the relatives and notified him that he was in the hospital. I guess he's got Alzheimer's, so that's kind of too bad. But the good thing is that I've done these for a lot of people, and now I don't have to do this anymore. So I need somebody to do this for me. And also, it's been a good week, I think, and that I'm very joyful about. So it's and of course, a lot of the people here. Some people I really love, some of the people, but that's everywhere. Thank you.
All back cleanup.
All right, you may need to. Hi, I'm Dawn Dowd. I want to say something because I don't think it's acceptable to say it today, and I want to be the person who gets to say it for those who don't feel they can. I hate Mother's Day. It is a painful day for many of us for lots of different reasons, and I'm happy for those of you who get to celebrate it, enjoy it. But I want to say on behalf of those of us who don't, that for those of us who miscarried our children, or who didn't get to have them, or who struggle with our relationships with our mothers and our grandmothers and our aunts, we're not alone. And I think it's really great if we happen to be here today, because it's really hard to go out and be in places where moms are being celebrated when you don't feel the same. So if you share this position, I'm glad you're here, and yeah, that's it. So thank you.
Well said. Well said. Well said. So Deb and Craig Van Battenberg write, a foster girl by the name of Bella aged out of her foster home on her 18th birthday in 2022. She was homeless with no family for 6 weeks. In January of 2023, she found a place to stay, but that ends on June 2nd. The homeless shelters in Worcester are full. Any help can be directed to Deb or Craig Van Battenberg. And Kim writes, to all of the people for whom Mother's Day is especially difficult this year, I light a candle and say a prayer. Let us be in the spirit of prayer and meditation. Spirit of life, we come this day with a myriad of emotions, some with gratitude in our heart for those who mothered us into the fullness of our being, some continuing to carry memories that bruise. Help us be mindful of the tender care that is mothering, that we all have the capacity to reach out, to embrace, to nurture life. Help us be mindful of all of those in our lives who have helped us become our best selves, and that capacity dwells within each of us. We are grateful this day for new life as it comes to us in many forms, for continuing life as it is reflected in the journey of coming of age at any age. And for those who remember generations before, grateful for the image of life abundant, and those for whom life abundance is but a dream. We extend ourselves, our own loving kindness, our compassion, and our care. Amen. And blessed be.
As the choir assembles in its own interesting way as seal pods. It's not a sea mother song, it's a seal mother's song.
Don't try to be back. So, being part of the coming of age group has brought my inner self out. I've been able to heal trauma of the past and learn more about myself and our group. My name is Ryan Wallace. I am a scientist and curious about the natural world. Science gives me structure in the world and has led me down my career path for research to work with animals and diseases. I am a son and brother and a friend. My family is important. Both my mom and my brother mean the absolute world to me, as well as my friends. I struggle with keeping things organized, but still try my best. I had to learn how to keep myself organized and structured for my job and keep on track with my goals. I have many thoughts and ideas in my head. It is not always easy to say what is on my mind, and only those who I feel comfortable with know my true self. Also, like many others, I lost family during COVID. I lost my grandmother, which was hard to go through. The silver lining was being able to move here to Worcester to go on my path as a researcher. I am spiritual, an agnostic Christian, but not religious. Religion caused trauma for me growing up. My family is religious, but I broke away from true Christianity. I have traveled to the other side of the world, to Japan, and gained a deeper appreciation of Japanese culture and history, and humbled by Japanese people. This is my creed. One more flag in the ground. I may struggle with things in life, but I move forward with help from my family and friends. I am a nerd, a gamer, a scientist, an animal lover, lover of heavy metal music, and kind to many. Thank you.
Good morning. It's hard to believe that Sean and I have only been part of this congregation for 5 years, because it's been life-changing for us in ways that we would never expect. And being part of the COA, again, adults, and having the time and space to reevaluate, to refocus, to put together the pieces has been a commitment. It's been work, but I think it's been rewarding. And I too will share my I am poem with you. I am Sherry. I am honest and brave. I am from Sandy Hill, from mason jars and whisk detergent. I am from the house on the corner, green, growing, delicious. I am from the garden, down the driveway, the victory sort. I want to see the world. I pretend to landscape in my head. I am Sherry. I am honest and brave. I am from church on Sunday and cabbage salad, from Lynn and Wolcott. I am a game lover and a Girl Scout. I am from seen and not heard. I understand how small I am, and I say, give it to the universe. I try to be the change, and I hope it makes a difference. I am from Christian WASPs. I am from the matriarchy of Editha, the failures of Martha, in cedar chests, sweetly stored in secret stashes. I am honest and brave, and I am Sherry.
This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice, the sound of what makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of voices too. The sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices three, singing together in harmony, surrendering sound of all of us. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of one voice. One people, one voice. A song for every one of us. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. Song for every one of us. This is the sound of
Well, that song didn't work out that well. And it's a beautiful song. Does anybody know that song? Yeah, it's beautiful. You get the gist, though. It's all of us are the voices. It's not just one that carries. At this time in our service, I would like to invite up our coming of age again class, Sean Reynolds, Marisa Davio, Sean Wallace, Ryan Wallace. I'm sorry, Ryan, sorry. Sherry Lynn, Pauline Corshane, Vicky Cox-Lanyon, Anna Gregory. A shout out to Ruth Silver, who was also a part of our class but couldn't be here. And I'd like all of us to join in a responsive reading dedicated to our class. I'll read the unbolded part and you can read the bolded part. We give thanks for your presence among us today. You are examples of courage and perseverance. We give thanks for the stories you have collected. By sharing your stories, you help shape ours. We are grateful for the gift of our lives and the gift of community. Each of us is created with dignity and worth. We are called to love one another and ourselves. We honor the ways that you are walking your path. Our common life is enriched by knowing you. Thank you for allowing us to learn more about you. Our interconnectedness is a sacred thing. Congratulations!
Yes, thank you.
And now I want to invite our Aaron for some closing words. Thank you.
Coming of age for adults? Really? I think this may be one of, if not the best creative program that has come out of this congregation in decades. And the reason for that, I think, might not be as obvious. When we offer coming of age to our youth, they're coming into a period of time where they're beginning to ask the question, who am I? What can I become? By the time you've reached at least middle age, and maybe a little older than that, although I'm convinced you all are middle age, except for Ryan, who is probably older than all of us in spirit, and right? The question changes. It's not who can I become or how can I become who I want to be. It is more like, does my life count? And is it okay to have been me? And what's interesting about coming of age across the lifespan, it's not as though we do it once and it's over. It's a perpetual process, and I think programs like this prove that. And it's as though we don't give up any of the questions, we just add to them. So it's not like the question, who am I and who am I capable of becoming, is no longer valid. At every point, especially at those moments when we are challenged by our own glorious incompleteness or by some traumatic circumstance, the loss of a loved one, a job change, moving. We encounter those old questions again, and sometimes old tapes with them. And yet, when we come to moments like this, when we're given an opportunity to consider more questions, and we surround ourselves by people who are as curious and as afraid as we are about what those answers might be, we discover bravery and courage. I heard you this morning. What do I want to do with my third act? Well, the reality is it's about your sixth. Because we all have about 10 acts in us, right? Right? Yes, right. It's chapters in a book, right? And part of what you all talked about was the process of becoming comfortable with your life story. I think that's part of what it means to grow into adulthood, is to learn to be comfortable with all of the parts of who we are, instead of shedding those parts we don't like and taking up only those things that we can be proud of. At some point, you come to terms with the fact that we are all gloriously incomplete, and ain't that wonderful? Because the reality is, when we're gone, the stories that people are going to tell about us aren't just the ones about how good we were. They're going to be the humorous times when we fell on our face, but more to the point, they will be stories about how we got up again and how we were an example of perseverance, how we were an example of bravery, how we embodied honesty. Stories that will last long beyond our own capacity for memory and our own physical being. I love the idea that we are to love humanity and that that in and of itself is a complicated process that involves unconditional love, and that we welcome the opportunity to engage uncertainty at some point. When we're in coming of age, at the age of 11, 12, 13, uncertainty scares the bejesus out of us. By the time we reach the third act or the sixth act, we understand that uncertainty is actually a constant. And what we've learned over time is how to enter into that process with a little more sense of ourselves and a little more confidence that this uncertainty will change at some point. And there's peace and honor. And of course, personal growth sucks. Right? Right? Let's be clear. It's not all about feel good. Right? But what's interesting about the third act is that by the time you get to it, you begin to understand that all of those previous times that sucked are also the times that have the most powerful lessons and stories that we continue to tell about ourselves in retrospect, so that our perspective changes. And of course, there's worry, but there's also fairness and loving kindness, both which heal. And the struggle to move forward involves the capacity to be honest and brave in equal measure. And ultimately, to discover that what we're doing is giving it all to the universe anyway. I want to thank you for being pioneers. I want to thank you for your honesty and your bravery. I want to thank you for your kindness toward each other, toward this congregation, toward the communities you serve, the families you love, and the universe that you give it all to anyway. You are a shining example of what it means to be people of faith. And may that continue to be who you are as you continue to become what you want to be. Amen, and blessed be.
With Love is My Guide by Cindy Terlazzo. Amidst the swirl of life's challenges, fears, and even moments of crisis, I make time to gaze at the sky to see the vastness there, and to remember that this moment in time is but a flicker, not an inconsequential flicker, for what I do and think now does matter. My work, though, is to let the debris of this world pass by while I anchor myself to know what is true: love, kindness, compassion, and caring for this precious life, this precious planet, and all that calls this place home. This is my North Star, with love as my guide.
Once again, beloved, worship in this place has come to an end, but our service continues next with an opportunity for refreshment and conversation with wonderful thanks for our graduating coming of age adult class today.
Make sure as you're heading down to Fellowship Hall, you check out our coming of age class artwork and let us know if you're interested in being in the program someday.